Time to engage the hive mind. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and I need your thoughts and ideas on something important. A little while ago, I posted a video where I made the point that the military doesn't really give a shit about you as you go through your military transition or retirement. Not necessarily because they're bad people, but they got a mission to do, and you are no longer a contributing member to that mission, especially once you're out. And there were people who shared comments along these lines. What kind of moron thinks they care about you? They didn't care about you when you were in. Fair enough. But I want you to hold on to that thought for a second. In a different video, I showed you the Government Accountability Office's report on how well the Department of Defense is implementing the Transition Assistance Program. An important piece of the whole transition process is that the service is supposed to assess how well prepared a service member is for their transition. They get put into these tiers, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, where Tier 1 is fully ready and Tier 3 is not ready at all. I'm not 100% sure how those assessments are performed, but something dawned on me. I bet that those assessments are designed by good-hearted DoD people, but people who have never made the full transition out of uniform all the way to just being a regular civilian on the streets of Bakersfield. So I want to hear from you. What should that assessment look like? I mean, you can just fire away as much as you like in the comments. You can be as angry or bureaucratic as you like. I guarantee you, nobody is listening to this. But while you're fermenting your own thoughts, I thought I'd kick things off with some of my own. You see, I think that this assessment has two parts. First part answers the question, is the service member prepared to transition? And the second part asks, has the service member completed their transition? And I'm confident that those two parts are interconnected, so that questions about whether somebody's prepared are closely tied to this issue of what does it mean to successfully complete a transition. So with that in mind, here's a couple of ideas of how you might assess that someone has successfully completed their transition. On a scale from daily to almost never, how often do you worry that you won't be able to pay your bills? On a scale from almost certain to highly unlikely, how likely is it that you will become homeless? On a scale from daily to never, how often do you wish that you had stayed in the military? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point. But that's the successfully completed part. Now let's think about the prepared part of the assessment. Try this one out. How much do you rely on your command for transition assistance? I have the feeling that a person who says, I rely on my command completely, well, they are not set up for a healthy transition. Or, how confident are you that your resume gives you a competitive advantage in the job market? Or maybe this one. How confident are you that you understand your personal finances well enough to make informed decisions? These might be kind of lousy questions. I mean, they kind of sound like the BS that you'd get from some bureaucrat just wandering around the Pentagon. And that is why I need you to sound off. Veterans have a long history of doing amazing things to improve the transition process. And I have confidence that when it comes to this one, you guys have some really good ideas. Now, if you want to see how the services are doing in delivering transition and assistance support, watch this video.